Hello folks, I'm Daniel Nobre and we gonna do a nice adventure on Kenneth Hahn recreational area in the heart of Los Angeles, Baldwin Hills, just between Culver City and Inglewood. And very friendly park. I used to love to come here almost every day after work to do my walks. Today I'm a little bit older and I live far from Los Angeles, but always when I got here, I like to show you guys what is this park is all about, right in the heart of Los Angeles. So stay with me and I hope you like this adventure. I think you will. Okay? Let's go. Managed by the Los Angeles County Department of Parks and Recreation. The 401 acres, 162 hectares park was established in 1984, Kenneth Hahn State Recreational Area, or Kenneth Hahn Park, is a state park unit of California in the Baldwin Hills Mountains of Los Angeles. As one of the largest urban parks and the regional open spaces in the greater Los Angeles area, many have called it LA's Central Park. History. The Baldwin Hills were part of the homeland of Tongva people, inhabited by them over 8,000 years. In the 19th century, the area was part of the Spanish and Mexican Ranchos of California era, with Rancho Rincón de los Buyes and Rancho La Ciénega o Paso de la Tijera in and around the present-day park. As Los Angeles quickly grew during the 20th century, only the rugged terrain of this section of the Baldwin Hills protected it from being developed. In 1932, the area east of the park was used as site of the first Olympic village ever built for the 1932 Summer Olympics and the 10th Olympiad which Los Angeles hosted. To serve as a continual reminder of the events, 140 trees have been planted together on the hills where the 1932 Olympics took place, with each tree representing a nation that took part of the 1984 Olympics. And the lake is open for fishing, has been stocked monthly with trout or catfish depending on the season. Between 1947 and 1951, the Baldwin Hills Reservoir was built in the hills here. In 1963, the reservoir's dam collapsed, washing away residences in the canyon and flooding the landmark Baldwin Hills Village, now Village Green. The news coverage of the disaster was the first time aerial footage was televised live. As you can see, the empty bowl of the reservoir remains visible to this day. As I continue walking the Bowls Loop Trail, now I see the new Memorial Tree Grove in honor of Dr. Martin Luther King. It is a new section of the park and I really think this portion is just beautiful. The tribute for Dr. King is just amazing. The views of Los Angeles outstanding. I couldn't resist and I took my self-pic right here because this portion wasn't here last time I was visiting the park. At least it was not ready. In the late 1940s, the city transportation master plan included building a new north-south freeway the aborted Laurel Canyon Freeway, State Route 170, that would have bisected the Baldwin Hills and Park site where the La Cienega Boulevard currently crosses the hills. And the Ball Loop Trail since 2004 has been the site of the Southern California USA Track and Field Cross Country Championships. In 1977, Los Angeles County Supervisor Kenneth Hahn convinced Vice President Walter Mondale to reuse the land from former oil drilling sites for a public open space park. At the time, the area was also a very popular spot for the new sport of motocross, locals calling it Motorcycle Hill. Land was acquired for the park and also includes the Ballona Creek watershed, that is a wildlife corridor from the hills through Culver City to the Ballona wetlands. The Kenneth Hahn State Recreational Area first opened in 1983 as Baldwin Hills State Recreational Area and was later renamed in 1988 to honor Supervisor Hahn and his preservation efforts there. Legendary former Los Angeles County Supervisor Kenneth Hahn, the undisputed master of pothole politics, he gave the city the Major League Baseball, freeway call boxes and paramedics during a record of 45 years in public office. The park's native habitat is the coastal sage scrub plant community, with oak woodlands in the northern arroyos and bunchgrass grasslands on the southern western windy and exposed terrain. The park is currently home to California ground squirrel, gray foxes, raccoons, striped skunk, desert cottontail rabbits, opossums, and California quail, among other animals. The Baldwin Hills area is also the nesting grounds for 41 species of birds. And here we are at the Japanese garden, walking around and enjoying nature. Some people bring their kids, some people just come to read a book, but most people come for the hikes, beautiful hikes around this section of the park. There is also a small artificial waterfall, but it was out of order, so I decided not to film in there. And Baldwin Hills has been seen in several films and television commercials, shows, etc. It is a famous movie location for films like LA Confidential, especially by the oil fields right next to the park. And from several vista points you can see the Hollywood sign, downtown Los Angeles, San Gabriel Mountains, Santa Ana Mountains, Los Angeles Harbor, Santa Monica Mountains, Santa Monica Bay, LAX, and the Pacific Ocean. Is just a must. At the end of this video, I'd like to invite you to come over to Kenneth Hahn and take a look for yourself what's going on here. There's a lot of nature, it's a beautiful place. Okay, I hope to see you guys in our next adventure as well. Okay, from Los Angeles, I'm Daniel Nobre. I see you guys on our next video. Goodbye.